welcome back to my channel. So it is the end of April 2022 and it's time to do an end of the month video where I show you what I colored in April. But before I do that, I first want to share with you my very first Happy Mail. So what it is Stickles, this Stickles glitter glue spooky theme. It's Halloween themed stickles that comes in a set. And I got these from one of my wonderful subscribers, Mary. I could not tell you how happy I was to receive these. I mean, look at these. Aren't these gorgeous? It came with black diamond, orange slice, and purple. I just cannot wait to get some good use out of these. So thank you so much, Mary. I so appreciate your wonderful continued support of my channel. And for everybody else out there too, thank you so much for your continued support and wonderful comments. So first we'll start off with the Hannah Carlson books. And I actually did 3 pages from Tales from the Witch's Cottage. So go ahead and show you those. So I did the name page and Neo colors for the background as usual. And my Prismacolor pencils, that's pretty much all I use these days, as you all probably know already. Let's see, what else did I use for this page? You know what? I need to get my coloring journal here. I don't know if you saw in my last end of the month video for March 2022, I believe it was, where I showed that I got this journal that I'm using to keep track of what I used, the colors that I use, and the medium that I use for each page. So I don't know if I made one for this one. If I didn't, I should have. Oh yes, I did. So yes, I used Thule Art acrylic paint pens. I think I just used one. I used a yellow one for the stars up here. And I used 2 types of stickles. I used the Stardust one, which is my favorite, and the Sunburst one in yellow for the flowers. I used the Stardust one for the little glittering stars in the sky there. Oh, and the moon. I put little stardust in the moon there. And let's see this next page that I did. Oh, this was my most recent video. So I did these bugs. I used the black acrylic background, and I actually used the Arteza water-based markers as a base for the colors. And that was one of the first times using that. Actually, it was the second time using markers as a base, and I really liked it. It really does help kind of reduce the amount of layers that you need, and it makes the picture very vibrant. So yeah, and what else I used in this page were the Cosmic Shimmers. I have it right here. Maybe. Yes, the Cosmic Shimmer Pixie Powder in rich gold. And that's what I used to do the Stardust type background. It was only it was actually my first time using it on a color page. I have messed around with it a little bit, just experimenting. I kind of got a little carried away up at the top. I was trying to just make it look like splatters in the background. but then the colors kind of ran here, and yeah, that was a little bit of a mess, but I think it was a good recovery. So yes, the bugs were done with the base of the Arteza markers and Prismacolor pencils, and I used white Posca and the Uniball Jelly Roll in metallic, no, not Jelly Roll, the Uniball, oh my goodness, what is it? Signo Uniball in metallic gold for these stars here. So the next page that I have completed in this book is the Magic Wand. Yes. And this was a work in progress that I had originally planned to make a galaxy background in this picture with watercolors, and it didn't work out so well. And so I was like, okay, scratch that. What else can I do? Well, anytime you mess up a background, you can always cover it up with black. So I used black acrylic paint on this page as well. And this was my first time doing the marker base Prismacolors over the top of that, and it turned out really good. Also, for this smoky effect here, I used the white gelato in coconut. It's from the pastels set. And originally what I did was another learning moment here was I applied it directly to the page. Well, it didn't blend out very well, and it kind of left like a negative area where I had applied it directly to the page. So I got the idea, after a little bit of struggling, to apply it to my textured palette and then use the blending brush to apply it, and that worked out great. So that's what I'll be doing from now on if I want to use gelatos over the top of acrylic paint or Posca. So anyway, and I did the little stars with my silver Uniball metallic gel pen, and stickles in Stardust. So there's that. Okay, the next Hannah Carlson page I have here, I just did one from Midnight Masquerade, and it was this lady here, which I named her Lady Debutante. I believe I used Posca in the background for this black background. And my Prismacolor pencils. Oh yes, this was a new thing for me, was covering up the lines in the hair with the Thule Art acrylic paint pens. I've been getting a lot of use out of those, and so I use them in her hair and accents in the flowers and the fan, and yeah, the little ribbons here. So I've been getting a lot of use out of those pens. Now, this one here, I also added her shoulders and pretty much everything from the neck down, except for the hand. The hand was already there, but I added her arms and dress. I also added the details up here, details around her mask, and a little detail edging along the fan here. There is a video for this page. Actually, all of these pages, there are videos for, except for the last ones I'll show you at the end, which I just was experimenting around off camera. So yeah, and then I believe I used a glitter gel pen for these little dots in the fan and in her jewelry here, in her hair and earrings. So yeah, I was really happy with how this one turned out, and I think a lot of people really enjoyed watching this one because I got a lot of really positive comments on it. So that's always nice to hear, when, because you know, you work pretty hard for doing these videos, filming them and then editing them, and a lot of work goes into them. So I really appreciate all of the positive feedback. Thank you. So the next one, I just did one out of the Tales from the Forest Kingdom. And it's this cute bug page. I'm not even sure what type of bug it is, but you know, it's all kind of fantasy elements with Hannah's pages, and I just love that. For this page, I did a watercolor background, and I used a metallic overlay. I don't know if you can see that there. I used quite a few things on this page. Of course, Prismacolors, and I used white Posca for the accents. There are gold stickles in rose gold. And yes, the gold pen work here that I did for the details around these little, I don't know if they're feathers or part of a wing, and some in the body of the insect was actually a gold extra fine tip Sharpie. So I'm glad I got some use out of that. Yeah, and this one turned out really nice. I was really happy with this one as well. Okay, moving on here. So the next book, I did a page out of Maria Trollet's newest book, Mandolin, which I believe translates to Moon Valley. And this is the page I did out of this book. I titled it Girl with Butterflies. Seemed pretty obvious. But for this book, of course, Prismacolor pencil work, Neocolor backgrounds, and with the, normally I apply Neocolors straight to the page, but I've been working a little bit with an alternate method or technique of applying the Neocolors to the palette and then picking it up from the palette and using them like a watercolor. And that turned out really well for this page. I really like it. And, you know, especially if you don't want to add a lot of water to a page, that's really helpful, because you can just use your water brush and just use a bare minimum amount of water to apply it to the page. And I think that was really good for this Maria Trollet book, because I don't feel that the paper in these books can take a lot of water. So yeah, and so I just did the accents with the white Posca here, and it was a pretty simple page. I didn't use too much media or get too crazy with anything here. But I love how it turned out. It's a very sweet page. And the next book that I did a page out of was Clara Markova's Tenderful Enchantments. And I just did one page out of this book. Honestly, I haven't done a whole lot out of this book. I think I've only done, well, I started this page like years ago, I think. And then I've just done the cover page, or the nameplate page here. That's all I've done out of this book, so I'll definitely need to do more. But yeah, so for this book, this page, I did a background with the Neocolors. This one, though, I did apply the Neocolors straight to the page, and you can see all of that work in the video that I have for this page if you'd like to check that out. So yeah, and I used stickles. I used like a light mint green stickles for these leaves down here, and a copper color stickles for the little accents in the house, and a Posca pen for the rest of the detail work there. Oh, also stickles in the little dragonfly wings there. But yeah, that page turned out really pretty. Pretty happy with that. All right, so then I did I was dying to do some pages out of Kirby's new book, Mythic World. So I did 2 pages out of this book, and those are also on my channel if you'd like to see them. The first page was this Aska Froa, and please excuse me if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Some of these creatures the names are a little hard for me to pronounce, but anyway, she's supposed to be like a dryad, which is like a tree spirit or sprite or creature of some sort. But yeah, I actually used a Derwent Inktense as a base for pretty much all of the tree and the creature here. And then I used my Prismacolors as detail work over the top, just to kind of give it some more depth and texture, if you will. And I used Prismacolors for all of the greenery and plants and flowers. And let's see, I think I only used 1 Tule Art pen on this page for like little dots here in the greenery. And I used my Posca pen quite heavily on this page for all of the white detail accents here. And the background, now these pages do not take very much water at all, I don't feel anyway. At least the American books. So what did I do? I didn't apply it straight to the page on this one either. I had my little Caran d'Ache textured palette, and I applied it like watercolors on this page as well. So you can see that in the video if you'd like to check that out. And the next page I did out of this book was the Kumiho. I think that's how you pronounce it. I was really, when I first got this book, I was really excited to do this page, and it turned out really nice. I love how it turned out. I just basically used Prismas for all of this work here, and only and Neocolors for the background. Now I'm pretty sure I actually applied the Neocolors directly to the page on this one, and then just tried not to use very much water. There is a video for this page as well. And the little fire elements here I outlined with a Tule Art acrylic paint pen to give it that orange flame look. Yeah, if you have an orange Posca pen, that would work too. But yeah, and then of course white Posca for all of the highlighted details there. Yeah, so, and then I did a PDF printout here with my Ohuhu markers. You probably have seen, I recently, this last month, a couple weeks ago, received, well, I bought them, but a whole set of Ohuhu alcohol markers. I got the Mega 320 set with all the colors, and it was so fun to play around with that. So I have been doing that mostly off camera, but this one I did make a video for when I was really new to the markers and learning how to blend the colors. So the blending didn't get quite as well as I liked in these areas here, but there is a video for this page. So this particular mandala I downloaded from my friend Corey's YouTube channel. You might be familiar with her over at Colorfully Optimistic. She makes mandalas every month that you can download and color. So that's what I did with this one. It's just printed on basic Nina bright white cardstock. And yeah, so I used my Ohuhu markers and a little bit of gold glitter gel pen on that for some fun accents. So pretty much the only other pages I did this month were off camera, just me playing around with my Ohuhu markers. I have a ton of these Creative Haven books that I purchased years ago when I first started coloring, but I didn't really care for the paper in them. It's, you know, not the best quality paper, so I soon realized I didn't really like coloring with my Prismacolor pencils in them. So basically what I've been coloring with are markers in them, and it's just a fun, kind of like doing mandalas, where, you know, it's just relaxing. You don't have to think too much about the colors that you want to use. And so I did this one just a couple days ago using my Ohuhu markers and a gold metallic gel pen for the stars here. But yeah, and then the other page that I did, just testing out my Ohuhu markers, well, there's two from this Color It Mandalas Volume 5 book, which I really love, by the way. I did the name page, which you might have seen. I started working on this page in one of my videos that I did when I first got my Ohuhu markers. It was testing and swatching out those. I started this mandala name page for that, and then I finished it off camera. And the other page that I did out of this book was, okay, here it is, was this page, and also using my Ohuhu markers and a gel pen for some fun glittery gold accents. So there we have it. So yeah, quite a bit of coloring this month. I was pretty busy as usual. So if you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for sticking around and watching. And I so appreciate all of your guys' continued support of my channel. And yeah, so we will have a ton of pages coming up coloring this next month. I'm excited for May to start, and I plan to do more pages. I'm not sure about Mythic World, but definitely more Kirby pages, obviously more Hannah pages, and maybe some PDF portraits. That's one thing I didn't get to this month. So yeah, but I definitely want to do at least one portrait next month. I need to practice some more with those pan pastels. So anyway, thanks so much for sticking around, and we will see you next time. Bye.